Hi everybody, Patrick here from I Help with Max. I just got done watching the live blog of Apple's event where they released some new stuff, or announced, I should say, some new stuff. And I know I'm going to get a lot of questions about what's good, what's bad, tell me about phones and things like that. So I just wanted to create this quick post just to talk to you about some of the things that I think are exciting and maybe stupid from this event that just ended. Okay, number one, Apple did announce, as everyone knew, that iCloud would be releasing or coming out or launching or dropping October 12th. Okay, now iCloud is exciting because it allows a guy like me who has just a lot of Macs, okay, a lot of Macs, several iPhones, two iPad, just the guy who has it all, right? To be able to see his purchased material, his photos, things like that on any of his devices that are connected to a network. When you essentially take a photo with your iPhone, it will push that photo up into this cloud, into server space. And then when you pick up your iPad, instead of having to take that photo from your iPhone, add it to your Mac into iPhoto, then plug your iPad into your Mac, and sync that photo from iPhoto onto your iPad, instead of doing all that, you'll be able to pick up your iPad, see that photo, see that song, see that app, whatever you've downloaded, whatever you've worked with, in the cloud, or documents in the cloud, and then access it on that new device, or that different device. So you're seeing all your stuff on all of your devices without having to do any connecting. You just have to be connected to a network at some point. It's really cool. iCloud also does daily backups of your devices to make sure you have the most current information on your devices. And there's this new thing that iCloud does, and it's called Find My Friends / share my location. But let me transition that from there into iOS 5. Now, for those of you who have devices like the iPad, the iPhone, things like that, the operating system that runs these devices is called iOS. And there's been several versions of it. 5 is the latest version. iOS 5 will also be releasing, October 12th. So it's coming up here. And it has this feature along with iCloud called Find My Friends, Share My Location. Now, this is a temporary feature that shouldn't freak any of you out in regards to security. Essentially, you are able to ask for your friends that also have these iOS devices, iPod Touch, iPad, iPhone, to share their location. And when they're connected to a network for a temporary amount of time, that's important, temporary, it will share not your location, but your device's location. So let's say someone is on the way to your apartment. It's their first time in the city. They just got off the train and they say, hey, I'm on my way. They text you or something like that, okay, using iMessage, which we'll talk about in a second. Let's say you say, cool, share your location on your device. I want to make sure you're walking down the right avenue, street, whatever. They share their location. You see, boop, 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 on this little app, Share My Location, or whatever it's called, that they're going the wrong way. You can tell them immediately and then direct them and watch them arrive at your apartment. Isn't that crazy? Really cool. So if you're at your favorite coffee shop, you get done with work early and you're going, man, I really wish my friends were around grab a drink with me or something. You can, boom, say, hey, where are you? People around you will, boop, appear in the app. You can go meet up with them, get some phone numbers, make some bad decisions, whatever you want to do. Really, really cool. So there's that Share My Location. We also, when using iOS 5, you need to know that the iOS 5 launch will be able to be downloaded on the iPhone 4, the iPhone 3GS, the iPad, the iPod 2, and the iPod Touch 3rd and 4th generations. So if you have an iPhone 3G, or an iPhone, just, the original iPhone, you're staying original gangster with that thing, iOS 5 will not work on your device. I apologize. There's another new development in iOS 5. It's called Siri, or Siri, or something, Siri. It's this app that actually will communicate with you. Long story short, you talk into it and say, what's the weather like in New York? It will tell you cold. Or the actual temperature. You say, what time is it in Florida? It will give you that temperature. How's the stock market doing? You can simply ask it questions and it will answer them for you. It will also actually dictate your speech, meaning I can say, let's say I'm jogging, which clearly I don't do, and I'm just jogging, and I remember, oh man, I need to text my wife to pick up milk on her way home, whatever. I can just pick up my phone, create a new text message, and say, pick up milk, I love you, sweetheart, thanks for marrying me. Text, it's dictated text, send a text message. So you don't have to always pick up your phone, type away. It will actually work in all these applications just to dictate what you're saying. Okay, here's some other new iOS features. We have something new that's called iMessage. Instead of using up your text messages with your phone, you have, as BlackBerry users have had for a long time, BlackBerry Messenger, there's iMessage for the iPhone, okay? You can simply, between different iOS devices, iPod Touches, iPads, etc., you can actually send messages back and forth for absolutely free, as long as you're connected to a network. Really, really cool, right? So save on your text messages, you can use iMessage. There's another feature called Reminders. That's basically a list function where you can actually create an event, or create a task, I guess I should call it, give a location to that task, and when you actually come up out of the subway and you're near that Barnes & Noble where you're supposed to buy a book, boom, your iPhone, your iPad, your iPod Touch will know it. It will tell you you need to actually do that task and finish it up. There's something called Reader for Safari where you can actually save web pages to read later offline. Let's say you're on the train, you don't have to be online, you can pull that web page back up, read through it. There's tabbed browsing in Safari. That's a big deal. Instead of having 8 different pages that you have to go to in a singular fashion, you have tabs in Safari, and you can touch each one of those tabs to see which web page you want to view. And here's another big deal. There's actually wireless updates now with your iOS devices. So instead of having to tether to your Mac, download updates through your Mac, and then sync them over to your iPhone, iPod Touch, whatever, you can actually do those wirelessly now. Now, remember, all this stuff I'm saying, I haven't experienced it, not familiar with it yet, haven't used it, but these are features that will be in iOS, and I can't wait in just a couple weeks to get my hands on it. All right, there's also Newsstand for iOS users where you can actually download magazines and subscribe and things like that. And I'm not sure how it's going to work with subscriptions and everything, but it's going to be really cool going more towards the paperless route while you're on the train reading, The Atlantic or whoever is going to release this feature for their company. So those are just some iOS updates. Now remember that iOS 5 updates that I'm excited about. That's not everything. That's just kind of what I'm excited about that I'm probably going to be using. Now, let's get to the big one. iPhone 5 was not released. Why? They released the iPhone 4S, and to be honest, it's got some really cool features. Of course, they're saying the battery will last for 90 days. It won't, okay? And they didn't say that. They just said the battery will last like 1,000,000 years or something. It's not going to, but it's going to be better. It'll last longer, But I'm assuming this to be a little bit of an exaggeration, okay? But they did not release the iPhone 5. They released the iPhone 4S. The S stands for speed. They did the same thing with the iPhone 3G. It went iPhone 3G, and then they released the iPhone 3GS, which the S stood for speed. They've done the same thing with the iPhone, okay? And it looks exactly the same as it used to look, as the iPhone 4 looked. And by the way, the iPhone 4 is not gone. It's still around. We'll get to that a little bit later, okay? But the iPhone 4S stands for speed. The insides have been changed quite a bit. First of all, about the iPhone 4S. It's coming out October 14th. You can pre-order it October 7th. So for my buddy AJ out there, he was asking me, do they do any type of pre-ordering system? Yes, they do. October 7th, you can pre-order a phone and then wait weeks for it to ship to your home. Okay, the iPhone 4S is a world phone. It uses GSM and CDMA. So you can use it all over the world. The iPhone 4 and the previous iPhones did not do this. This is kind of a big deal. There's a new camera inside of the iPhone 4S. It's 8 megapixels. It looks a lot better. And the video camera records in 1080p. It used to be 720p. That was a big deal for a phone to record a high-definition video. Now that's gotten even better. And here's something to remember. The iPhone 4S isn't replacing everything. The 3GS and iPhone 4 will live on. That's really important, okay? The iPhone 4 is now $99 for an 8 gig phone. That's for my wife, for instance, who's still using an iPhone 3G. Oh, the humanity! It's a 3G. It's not an iPhone 4. Okay, it is slower. It doesn't work as well. Planned obsolescence and all that stuff. An iPhone 4 is going to be quite an upgrade for her. Not saying she's getting, we may upgrade her to the full 4S because that's how we do it at the Murphy house. Okay, the iPhone 4 is now $99 for an 8 gig phone. That's great. The 8 gigabyte 3GS phone will be free. That is nuts. They're releasing the iPhone 3GS now as a free phone when you sign up for a contract through whoever. That's crazy. People can now go out and get the iPhone 3GS for free. Everybody's going to have one. Okay? When people go out to get their kids' phones because they're going to school, boom, iPhone 3GS. Now, what's great is that with the new software update to iOS 5, you can actually add parental controls to the devices now. So, kids, don't get excited. I'm going to have an iPhone. I can browse all of my web pages. If your parents let you. Okay? Cool. Parenting. All right, great. So the iPhone 4 will live on. The iPhone 3GS will live on. The iPhone 3GS being free with contract. The iPhone 4 being $99 with contract, I'm assuming, as well. And here's the big one. They're releasing the iPhone 4S, maybe just the 4S. Not sure. Maybe the other ones as well. On Verizon, AT&T, and Sprint. Okay, so everybody out there who hated AT&T and moved on over to Verizon for their better service but higher prices, it's true, look it up. Maybe now everybody can move over to Sprint and we'll see what happens there as well. So I'm sure I'm forgetting a lot of things that you're excited about. I'm sure I'm forgetting some things that you're going, why didn't he talk about this? Well, relax. You're looking at a YouTube video. You're looking at a WordPress page. You're looking at something that was free. Just giving you what I think here. So if you want some more updates or if you have specific questions about these devices, feel free to shoot me an email, ihelpwithmax@gmail.com. Feel free to check out my webpage, ihelpwithmax.wordpress.com. Check out my YouTube channel, which maybe you are already, Mr. ihelpwithmax, so youtube.com/ihelpwithmax. Or follow me on Twitter, ihelpwithmax. Send me a message, send me a little tweetski, and I'd love to get back to you. Other than that, have a wonderful evening, and for those of you that are waiting for the iPhone 5, you're going to have to wait a little bit longer, just like me. Want an iPhone 5, but I'm really excited about some of this stuff. So feel free to contact me about it, and we'll chat.